The joint stock company of Český porcelán Dubí is a continuation of the tradition, the roots of which date back as far as the year 1864, when the industrialist Anton Schinkel bought a building, the so-called Dolly Mlýn in Dubí, and started there at first the production of majolica and 10 years later also porcelain. The year of 1885 had a far-reaching meaning. At that time, there was started the production of a wide assortment of an integrated porcelain collection, according to the pattern being produced in the porcelain manufacture of Mischen. The products, in the style of late Baroque, with decorative elements of Rococo, decorated by cobalt underlays according to Chinese porcelain, became a supporting program of the company until the present day. The decor used, since the beginning called an onion-shaped pattern, comes from the collection of stylized plant motifs with a background in Eastern Asian philosophy. Nevertheless, the decor is adjusted to the European conception. The deep-rooted name of Cibulový vzor, or onion-shaped pattern, has its origin in a mistake, a deceptive interpretation of one of the motifs. The image of a pomegranate namely resembles an onion in its shape. The onion-shaped porcelain became a very sought-after family porcelain for its individual nature and even decor, owing to a sensitive connection of the human spirit and art, with respect to tradition and even international reputation. It has descended from one generation to another. Owing to the durability of sub-glazed decoration, and also the fact that this onion-shaped porcelain has been produced for long decades with no change of shape or decor, it is still possible to complement the collection with traditional components. At the same time, innovations complementing decorative and also serviceable collections come onto the market. Let's take a look now how onion-shaped porcelain, this symbol of brittle beauty, serviceable and the pleasure of spirit, a symbol of individuality and worldwide reputation, comes into the world. How it's being born by the connection of human art and tender female hands. High-quality porcelain mass contains 3 finely milled basic raw materials: quartz, feldspar and china clay. Quartz provides porcelain with hardness, feldspar brings transparency, even translucency, and china clay, the content of which is so-called European porcelain, is a full 50%, provides porcelain with its most beautiful attribute, and that's to say, the whiteness. Plastic porcelain mass is put on the conveyor and passes through a vacuum section in order to remove air from it. It's cut into rolls which are automatically put onto incoming plaster forms. A mechanised jigger makes a product, the outer shape of which is given by the form, and the inner one by a rotating template. Jiggered bodies in forms then go to the dryer. Dried semi-products in a so-called leather condition are reloaded onto the conveyor and their sharp rims cleaned. The next section of this operation is the gluing of handles and the subsequent complete grinding. It is possible to make round and open shapes from plastic mass, but not closed ones. When making closed shapes, there must be used the technology of casting into closed gypsum forms or forms made of plastic. Porcelain mass used there has the same composition as plastic mass, but it's in a liquid condition. This is the way to produce bigger sets of sugar basins, spice basins, small vases and similar assortments in a semi-automatic line. Lids of all the products are equipped with holes in the shape of handmade roses. After complete drying, the products are retouched. Bigger and more complicated shapes, for example teapots, are cast into several parts into plaster forms and then glued together into a final shape. Decorative shapes typical for Rococo products such as cut-through basins and baskets are cored by hand, or if need be, complemented by handles. After complete drying, they are touched up very hard. In this condition, a porcelain product is very brittle and tends to break. Large sets of products can be made by means of a so-called press casting into forms made of plastic. This way of production allows precise making of the relief part of the product. When using press casting, we obtain one cast every 3 minutes. The production of porcelain demands a lot on energy, predominantly because of the drying and burning. For this reason, new technological and production methods are being researched leading to savings of energy. During recent years, there has been developed a so-called isostatic press. It presses plates and other products made of dry porcelain granules under high pressure. The production, as you can see, runs fully automatically and without any drying. Semi-products, the production of those we watched, are collected in the fireproof kiln carts. Together, they go into a kiln where they pass through the heat of 900 degrees C. This first burn is called bisque firing. There exist only 4 factories in the world which produce so-called onion-shaped decor by means of classical making. It means that the pattern is laid on a bisque body and then glazed. All of the decorative procedures start right here. Decor is cut into steel plates. A cobalt dye is laid onto them by spatula. The colour caught in the impressions of the plate is transferred by pressing onto a moistened cigarette paper. A transfer picture rises in this way, and after cutting up, it is glued onto individual products. It's possible to retake the paper off after moistening. Decor has been already safely transferred onto the product. Now it's time for the most qualified kind of work, sketching in using freehand. In our factory, a qualified painter does this activity. A bisque body, on which it is painted, works as a suction paper, and cobalt dye has the nature of ink. Said otherwise, it means the colour is definitive if laid on once. It's absorbed very fast and so a bad line cannot be repaired. It takes 3.5 years for the painter to acquire the indenture, and then they have to obtain 2 years of experience. Only then can the painters be called qualified. Painters designate expensive pieces of porcelain by their personal signatures. Printing from steel plates, and even painting we have seen, is made by means of cobalt oxide when using oily components. Nevertheless, grease would cause problems with glazing. Thus, it's needed to remove oily components by using the second burning in a row, this time at a temperature of 600 degrees C. For this reason, products made of onion-shaped porcelain are very laborious, as it's also necessary to preserve their high quality, checking every piece passes prior to its handing on for glazing and final burning. Now we demonstrate that the onion-shaped decor is really subglazed. Namely, the design entirely disappears after the infusion in glaze, which is basically cold feldspar glass. Small sets and individual pieces are glazed in this way. Every product after glazing must pass an operation upon which the foot of the product is stripped. If not done so, products would stick onto the bed after burning. This is already the automated equipment, which glazes large pieces semi-automatically. Thus, pieces too heavy for manual glazing. Glazing, including stripping feet, passes automatically here. The staff only reload the products and subsequently put them into the highly fireproof racks where the goods are fired. With this third firing in a row at a temperature of 1400 degrees C, the glaze purifies. It means that it becomes translucent. The cobalt colour, glowing dark blue, appears in full glazed gloss. Mild feathering of its design is a typical feature of onion-shaped porcelain decorated by using subglaze. The reason for this is the partial sealing of cobalt into the glaze. Therefore, outlines are not sharp but tender. Each product of onion-shaped porcelain produced in the Český porcelán company passes a very strict inspection upon sorting. As soon as sorted products are put into the substore, orders are put together for them. Now we are found in a sample room, where all products made at this time, and that's to say as serviceable, so decorated, and even figural porcelain are presented. We can see dining set collections here, coffee collections, tea collections, kitchen collections. Each of the 530 various kinds of onion-shaped porcelain produced by the Český porcelán company has its own cardboard produced by the factory itself. Packed in it, the products of traditional Czech porcelain travel to individual customers. And here we say goodbye to onion-shaped porcelain, but soon it will be welcome in Korea, Japan, Germany, Italy, France and other countries, where it will propagate the 140-year-old tradition and fame of Czech porcelain and Czech hands.